later film, Another Country, about the English public school system. And in that film, the rebels essentially, they hate the system and they all become spies for the Soviet Union, which is an even more oppressive system. But I remember, I grew up in Ireland, and I remember the headmaster being very aggressive to me once. I had fantasies of burning the school down for weeks.
There you go. Well, part of it is, of course, adolescent. I mean, there's an adolescent streak in the film too, and it's playing to that, obviously.
Right. And have you ever seen the Jean Vigo film Zero for Conduit, which is a film from the 30s? If anyone has anyone seen that film? Because it's very. He was definitely inspired by that film, which is also a film that it's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's in about 45 minutes, but it also has these kind of four boys in a French school, and they sort of lead a lighter revolution, throwing things and disrupting a ceremony from the attic at the end. So it's not without precedent in cinematic history, certainly.
Well, it probably is a fantasy that many people have at different times, to different degrees.
It's not without precedent in cinematic history, certainly.
Well, it probably is a fantasy that many people have at different times, to different degrees. It's just that so happens that in Britain it's such a specific archetype, and it's lasted so long, literally hundreds of years, that it is has a special resonance for Britain, for people in Britain, when they see it. There's a lot of resentment, for example, from all the people who don't go to those schools. Mm-hmm. And that's odd too, because the jealousy of a system that's cruel, but it's the privilege that goes with it, which they talk about all the time. But this is a privilege.
It's a deep sadomasochism kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me also that the boy in the film, who starts the film, who we feel Jude, you feel almost terrified for him, because you expect the narrative of his story to be that he gets your story. I expect it to be your story, to be honest, and then he almost seems to be falling in line completely as the film goes on. We don't really see him sort of at the end, but
he basically learns how to just be invisible.
Right. I mean, there was moments when I thought, oh well, he's going to become them later. I mean, that's
but the
not
beginning was exactly like what happened to me, of course.
Yeah.
Down to the church, even.
Mm.
I was just wondering what you think the principal difference, or the main differences between your experience in the school and your experience in the commune, because I was thinking when I was watching the film and knowing about that part of your history, that there's a lot of similarity, other than the purposes for which they were to be for. But in terms of breaking down, maybe your own.
Well, I don't know. The school is about building something up, a surrender to a system. And the commune was about breaking down all of your expectations so that you could make a choice on your own as to what you want to become. So it's about wiping the slate clean, so then the person you become, you can build purely and simply with your own consciousness.
So the school had the same effect. In other words, I know they were set out for different purposes, but I'm just wondering if, there is, in terms of how it affected you, seeing one in a very negative way, in a sense.
I'm not sure I know what you mean, but sorry.
Do we, anybody, any last comments or questions? I just want to mention also you're doing something at the New Museum on Friday. Are you going to that? This is a film, just to tell, Jake Usna made a film called Open, which is screening at the New Museum on Friday, I believe, and he based two of the characters on you and Lady J.
Yeah, it's a film about two people who meet. One is called Jen and one is called Jay. And they fall so crazy in love that they decide they want to be just like each other and start having cosmetic surgeries to look more like each other. And then Jay dies. So they did a lot of interviews with me before they did the film. So it's loosely based on our story.
And you'll be there?
We'll be there, yeah. And there's another one here on Wednesday. William Burroughs film, The Man Within.
Oh, you're right. You're in the William Burroughs film.
We'll be here too to do a Q&A with that one.
Okay, so
Busy week.
Busy week.
3 films in 5 days.
And then you know that you're performing in December. I think
December the 9th at Europa Psychic TV, special holiday event. All new music and new video.
Okay, cool. We'll be there.
And a new guitarist. He's amazing too.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna thank all of you for coming, and I hope to see you. Thank you, and thank you very much. And we'll hope to see if you guys want to come to Julius. Some of us will be hanging out at Julius, and if not, see you December 13th for the Agnes Barda film.
Or Wednesday, or Friday.
Or Wednesday or Friday, exactly.
Somebody